Hello YouTubes, this is Grimweird. I thought I would do just a quick video to show some of the aspects of the UI on SWTOR, Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO. This is from the November 25th weekend beta in 2011, so if you're watching this a couple years from now, keep that in mind. So just a quick walkthrough. Got a character screen. Some things you need to know on this screen is that you can select your title from a drop-down menu with this button here. I'm currently Lieutenant Arcturo, or I can change it to Arcturo, what have you. Here's your dark side, light side points and where you are. I'm at 3700 light. I have 3750 light points and 50 dark points. One thing to note on this bar is that it doesn't immediately register your points while you're in the mission. You need to actually finish the mission for those to lock in. So if things are going weird, you can always abandon the mission if you have made some choices you didn't like. I guess that's to keep people from doing conversations, getting some light side points or dark side points, and then having them locked in, and then aborting the mission and restarting it over and over again to farm points. So if you don't see it going up, keep in mind that it won't go up until you've finished the mission arc that you're on. We've got a social points here, valor points for PvP. You get social from going through NPC conversations while you're grouped with other people, and valor I think comes from PvP. I haven't tried that yet. You can look at a variety of stats here. You can mouse over those stats to see what how things are going. Yeah, so that's the important stuff here. You got a bunch of slots. That's all pretty normal. Then I can go over to the companion tab. Again, I have a bunch of stats. I have her alignment. I have her affection towards me or faction towards me. And then also her stats. Again, you can mouse over them and get a lot of information. And then I have my ship tab. So this is the BT-7 Thunderclap, the trooper's ship. And it has also some slots that you can put stuff into, and some stats for it. So then next we go to inventory. This is just your personal inventory. You'll have one tab for holding stuff, and then another tab for mission items, and then a third tab for special currency. These are commendations that you can earn through quests and turn into a special vendor. And then how many credits you have down at the bottom. Next we have abilities. So you have general abilities that everybody gets. Then you have my trooper abilities. And it tells me that I have not picked up speeder piloting yet. That costs 40k. And I haven't got enough money for it yet, but you can pick that up at 25th level. So these are all the trooper ones that I've got, and then over here I've got my commando ones for my commando abilities for my advanced class. Vehicles, I don't have any vehicles yet because I don't have piloting skill yet. And then here's my companions skills. And here you can do things like change whether they're going to use them or not. So the mission log, you can see I have a bunch of missions. They're color coded as to how difficult they are, and you can make them show up or not on your mission tracker, and gives a little bit of stuff here on them. We've also got a party tab, which I can't light up right now, but it shows party stuff when you're in a party It shows missions that you have in common and stuff. Then there's a Codex page. On the Codex page you can see things about various stuff that you've done, like when you look at the crew skills, it'll tell you, you know, what type of skills, what the skills do, and etc. And persons of note, like this is Elara Dorn is the lurker that you see behind me, and this tells a little bit about her, the kinds of things she likes and the kinds of things she dislikes for getting affection during conversations. Tells a little bit about her, and you know, things like that. Lockouts, these will tell you if you're locked out of any kind of raids and whatnot. And next we have skill tree. So I have not unlocked my legacy stuff yet, but that's coming up. So here's my skill tree. I'm mostly in gunnery here, well, all in gunnery so far. It tells you how many points you have, how many points you have to spend. It also tells you what the tree specializes in. So combat medic is healing, gunnery is damage, and assault specialist is damage. And next we have the social window. You got friends, who, ignore, and guild. You can right click on names in these windows and do things like invite to group, or send a whisper tell to them, or ignore them, add to friends list, etc. Yeah, so that's about it. You can filter it, refresh it, that sort of stuff. Got a guild page. Let's see. Crew management page. This tells you which companions you have. I've got 3 of the questable companions, and then my one that came with my ship, C2N2. This also tells what my crew skills are. So I'm an armor mech and a scavenger and an underworld trader. And right now the yellow one is the one that's active, Elara Dorn here. I can do things like send her out to sell gray items by pushing this button, or by right clicking in her thing. If I had grays to sell, it would also say sell gray items there, and she disappears for a minute and goes and sells for you. So that's a handy feature. Or you can right click there and dismiss her and summon another one. So now I've got M14X out. And let's see, and I've also got Eric Jorgen.
Understood.
And I can even bring out my ship steward if I want. And let's see, is there anything else for this page? Oh yeah, so here, let's say I want to send them to do some stuff for me. Max deployable is 3, so you always, I think, can deploy up to how many you have minus 1. So let's say, for instance, if I keep Elara Dorn with me, I could do things like send Eric Jorgen out to do some crafting for me. I could have him make some hardened assault belts with armor mech skill. So I've selected him as the companion, and I go craft, 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 craft. He can have up to 5 things done, and so now you can see it's taking him a few minutes for each piece, so he's going to be busy for a bit. Then I could come down and do some more stuff with one of my other companions. I could send send my robot out on a underworld trading mission. The underworld trading missions, they have tiers. So I'm on tier 2 here of 17 to 24. These are the available missions. They have a credit cost and a time associated with them, and it also tells you what kinds of yield you're going to get. And so I always need more underworld medals. So if I do this quest here, working for the Kubaz for 655 credits in 8 minutes, it will be a moderate yield of grade 2 luxury fabrics and underworld metals. The luxury fabrics are used in synth weaving, so I can trade those off or give them to another character, and underworld metals are used in armor mech. So I can go ahead and send companion. So now we go back to this page. You can see that he's off. Eric is just about to finish my first belt, and M1 is off doing that. We can have C2N2 make a couple more belts.
Your peace of mind is my highest priority. Rest assured, this will be done to perfection.
So now I've got Eric and C2N2 making belts for sale, and M14X going to get me some rare underworld metals so I can make some decent armor. And Alara Dorn is with me and can continue to fight with me and stuff. And let's see, what else can we show you? That's about it. The other stuff, well, I can show you. One good thing to show here is in the preferences page, you can do a lot of stuff. Some of my favorites are auto loot on right click and enable area loot. So this means you automatically pick up anything when you right click a monster that has loot on it that's dead, and it will also pick up other stuff that's near you at the same time. So that's handy. And let's see what else is really nice that's in here. Here, user interface. This is where you enable your extra quick bars. So the bottom, center, and the left and the right. So that's a very handy one because everybody always likes more than the basic one quick bar. And there's a bunch of other stuff. Here you can use raid frames for any of your group stuff. A lot of people like to use raid frames, and you can also stretch out the width of them to make it easier to tell if people need healing or not. Under social, hide head slot, that's another important one. You've also got a second tab here for key bindings. That was one I missed at first. So if you zoom in on this, you can probably see that I have some of my cards, or some of my slots set up with stuff like this is shift 1 through equals, and I've set up my bottom one here as A as alt 1 through equals. And then I have a few things set up over here, like I've got T set for tenacity, which tenacity removes any of my movement effects if I'm, like, you know, rooted or knocked down. I can just hit T and pop back up. And I've got R set up for recharge and reload, which is a quick healing and reloading of my gun. So that's how you set up those things. Under quick slot you can do a bunch of stuff there. So, alright, that's pretty much it for the menus up here. Of course, down here you've got your companion and the first 4 buttons of so that she can do. You can also expand it to your middle or to one of the other ones, but that uses up one of your bars, so I don't like doing that, so I keep it over here. You can remap some of her stuff. Her stuff it defaults to control 1 through 10, I believe, 1 through 0. But like, for instance, I've got attack remapped to mouse button 5, so I can just point and click and have her go. And what else? There's a button for pulling up crew skills if you don't use N, which is the shortcut. You have a variety of stuff. You can right click on your portrait to toggle your PvP flag or do some guild stuff if you have guild stuff available. You can mouse over your health to see, and it pops up over here above your mini-map. So like for instance, I can see how much ammo I have and how fast it's regenerating. This little series of greater than signs over here shows me how fast my ammo regenerates. The commando, as they use it up, the less ammo they have, the slower it regenerates. So that's an interesting feature. One thing you can do also is when you click on something, if I find someone I can click on, down in here, you probably can't see it, but it'll tell you the range. So he's 11.7 meters away. A lot of my skills are 30 meters and under, so that's sort of handy to get a feel for how far away things are. And over here I've got a mini map. I can do things like open the world map. Over on the world map, one of the other things you can do in the preferences is turn on this, or you can turn it on here, the little magnifying glass that lets you magnify over stuff and read it better. The weird thing about this is that it only will track one type of icon at a time in the big thing, so you have to sort of go through here to find what you're looking for. But the nice thing about it is if I have it set for bind points, I can see there's a bind point here, but you can also see that if I mouse over it, it shows the icons for other things. So that's another reason I have this magnifying glass turned on, is because I can look for all the icons if I know generally where they're going to be. Over here, if there's a drop-down menu under World, that will let you switch to different shards of the thing. Like for instance, if Tatooine was really crowded, there might be a Tatooine 1, a Tatooine 2, etc., etc. My mission tracker, there's a cursor position and player position, so you can find things. So yeah, a lot of good stuff there. You can do mini-map filters if you want to turn off certain icons on your mini-map here. And you can zoom in and zoom out. And here's a Q button. And here's a server lag latency. And also a clock. And that about covers it. Over here's the chat window. You can drop down and do emotions. So like for instance, if I want a club dance, I can do that. Over here is where I can pick a channel. The usual stuff. Can right click on it to create new tabs, go to chat settings, or create custom channels or change things. Mission complete, so one of my guys came back. M14X was out doing a mission, and he brought me some rare luxury fabric and some metals, etc. So that's nice. So yeah, you can turn off stuff over here. If we go to my inventory, you can see I have a bunch of belts here because my guys have been making belts while I've been doing all this talking. So that's handy. And yeah, so that sort of gives you a taste of the UI and some of the nice things about it. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.